I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. Guys, thanks for joining me. Guys, don't forget to check out Mike in the Night Marathon from last night, 6 hours long, and it's already moving towards one of the most popular Mike in the Nights. We had 25 people call in, 6 hours long. We had callers from everywhere, from Australia. I think we had a caller from New Zealand. UK was too late, but people were watching from the UK. We got a bunch of callers from the United States and callers from Canada. So it's a really, really good Mike in the Night-a-thon. 6 hours long, guys. Don't forget to check it out because it goes on and on and on. It's actually shaping up to be one of the most popular Mike in the Night so far. It's already on track to be one of the most popular ones. So check it out, guys. Don't forget to set your reminder here for Mike in the Night right here for next Saturday night. We start at 8 p.m. now Pacific time. Give us a little bit more time to get people on the East Coast. All right, what's going on? Well, let's go over some of the numbers here for COVID. There it is, 719, 414. And again, United States is leading the charts here, and with 140,000 cases. Italy is just in and around the 100,000 case mark. China, look, 0 new cases. Wow, China, 0 new cases. Where this virus originated from, they have 0 cases. That's, wow. Should I applaud or should I? Yeah, right. And then Spain's going to pass China today. Germany's getting close. France, and it's moving towards Portugal. Look, Portugal's growing too. It's moving that way. Canada's already bumped. It's bumping itself up to 66,280. And we are now 1 week, 2 days. Is it 1 week, 2 days? Yeah, 1 week, 2 days away now from the craziness to happen here in the West. 1 week, 2 days away. So there it is. Maps all read out, and it is going down for real. So what story? I got a story and a half for you. This is something we brought up on Mike in the Night last night about food. We discussed a bit about food shortages, and what's happening. Well, I don't think we'll have a food shortage per se, but when countries are starting to hoard food, we're looking at a different situation. Situazione se cambia. The situation starts to change, threatening global trade. So what's happening here? So there it is. A lot of people intentively, this is from 2 days ago. It's not just grocery shoppers who are hoarding pantry staples. Some governments are moving to secure domestic food supplies during the COVID pandemic. Kazakhstan, one of the world's biggest shippers of wheat, flour, banned exports. That is huge. Kazakhstan is huge. They export. Kazakhstan exports mainly to Eastern Europe and Russia. Wheat, like huge amounts of wheat. Banned exports of that product, along with others, including carrots, sugar, potatoes. Vietnam temporarily suspended new rice exports contracts, and Vietnam supplies China, Japan. I don't think the Philippines. I think it's just China, Japan, and Laos, not Laos. Cambodia. Cambodia with rice. Cambodia does export a lot of rice too, but they also import quite a bit too. Serbia has stopped the flow of its sunflower oil. Oh no, that's not good. Because some of the best oil does come from, sunflower oil and other goods. While Russia is leaving the door open to shipment bans and said it's assessing the situation weekly. To be perfectly clear, there have been just a handful of moves, and no sure sign that much more is on the horizon. Still, what's been happening has raised a question. Is this the start of a wave of food nationalism that will further disrupt supply chains and trade flows? Well, look at Cuba, guys. Cuba was off-grid for years. They had their own food, their own beans, their own rice, their own fruits, vegetables. Cuba pretty much was self-sufficient for, 30, 40 years. So they did okay. Shoppers wait on the street for the general opening of the store during a time set aside for elderly, vulnerable members of the community to shop at the Iceland Foods Lot store in London, United Kingdom. On Wednesday, March 18, 2020, growing fears about the coronavirus pandemic have led to extraordinary scenes in British grocery stores, with people lining up outside shops before opening times and bulk buying items such as toilet paper and pasta. Some nations are adding their strategic reserves. China, the biggest rice grower and consumer, pledged to buy more than ever before from its domestic harvest, even though the government already holds a massive stockpiles of rice, wheat, enough for 1 year of consumption. And that's a big feat. For China to have 1 year's worth of consumption on the side is huge. So here it is. There's the trade and share of domestic food supply. So Canada's up there. These countries here are big shares of. France got fruits and importer. Portugal, Spain, they import a lot. Unfortunately, you're going to see countries in here like Italy. Why is Italy like a net importer of food when Italy makes... Well, a lot of countries under the EU standards were told to stop either fishing, stop oranges, stop making oranges, stop planting plantains, stop doing things. Let other countries take that. So Portugal was basically paid to stop doing everything. So now Portugal is doomed to have to import stuff. So there's a lot of private farms and private farm communities in Portugal last time I was checking it out. So there's a big thing happening, a big movement in Portugal where private farms and everybody's got a backyard with vegetables. Everybody. So what's happened is they've paid a lot of countries in the EU to stop producing, and I think that was a big mistake. So the net exporter, so you got Brazil, of course, Canada. Canada sells everything it can to anybody else. And then you have Australia and New Zealand, their dairy and all that other stuff, fish and stuff. So yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see who imports and exports, or who's allowed to export. Right? You could see it in the color here, like right here. The color's so dark in Portugal and so light in Spain. And it's the only country in Europe. And Portugal basically got the best weather in southern Lusitania there. But they got hit with the stick and said, nope, you can't make grapes. Nope, you can't do this. Nope, you can't do that. Nope, you can't do that. Nope, that's going to France. Nope, that's going to that. But Portugal makes the best of this. No, that's going to Germany. Nope, that's going to France. Nope, that's going to Italy. And it's like, wow. So there it is, guys, in a nutshell. So, as governments take nationalistic approaches, they risk disrupting an international system that has become increasingly interconnected in recent decades. So it took a long time. Kazakhstan has already stopped exports of other food staples like buckwheat and onions. Before the move this week to cut off wheat flour shipments, and the latest action was a much bigger step, with the potential to affect companies around the world that rely on supplies to make bread. So that's going to be huge, especially buckwheat. So let's go here. This is from the day, business section. Country starting to hoard food, threatening global trade. Again, Kazakhstan, one of the biggest shippers of wheat flour, so it goes back into the same article, but just cut and pasted. Yeah, it's just cut and pasted. And grain markets. If you're invested in the grain markets, you're doing good. Oats are up. Canola's up. Soybeans up. Corn's up. So if you're a farmer and you haven't been foreclosed on by Monsanto or some weird entity, you could do really good with the prices right now. Corn up. Soybean up. Canola up. Oats up. SRW wheat. HRW wheat. HRS wheat. So that's pretty good. That's good. It's creating. There it is. There's the soybean exports going up. Canada needs to up its production to ship to China big time. And this is a kind of interesting one. What preppers can teach us about dealing with COVID? Prepping. Prepping at its core is self-reliance, said Jane, founder of 5,000 member Reddit group called Pandemic Preps, who did not want to reveal their full name or location or privacy concerns. A prepper is a person who takes measures in advance to ensure the economic, physical, emotional well-being of their family during times of struggle. In Canada, it's called panic, or your alarmists or panicists. People that actually in Canada we were people that's prep or prepare for a disaster are actually called, what were they called? Alarmists or anxiety issues or anxiety-ish. Comment below if you remember what that article where Canada called Canadians who prepare for a rainy day with food and supplies are considered panicists or whatever. So, what should the average people keep on hand in case of emergencies like COVID? The CDC recommends having at least 1 gallon of water per person per day and 3-day supply of food that requires little or no cooking or refrigeration. It also recommends avoiding salty or spicy foods, as may increase your need for drinking water. You'll also have to keep the kit up to date. CDC recommends using or replacing your supplies every 6 months. So here it is, guys. A 3-day supply for me doesn't cut it. I got a family of, we have 6 in the family here at home. Am I counting myself here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I'm counting myself. 6. So that's not good. For us, a 3-day supply ain't going to cut it. For me, we make sure we prepare, we have what we need. We make sure we have secondary sources for food and water. Water, we could just catch rain outside, and we have like a closed, sealed well that we could tap in anytime. I'm just trying to think, like, for water, that's most important. And then I have my rain-catching barrels to catch rain, and I could filter that water with a Brita filter. It's rainwater. I could just filter it. In most cases, it's better than some of the polluted crap that's out there. What else? Yeah, we got a big backyard, and we're gonna start growing vegetables this year, all kinds of vegetables this year, and we're gonna do a good job of it. We're gonna, things like that. And yeah, we do prepare. We have rice on hand. We got corn, things like that on hand. We need to prepare. In Canada, so 3 days. So guys, let me take you back to the early 80s. When I used to go grocery shopping every Friday with Mom. Sometimes Dad would come. We'd go grocery shopping. We'd go in the car Friday afternoon. We'd head out. We'd go down to the local food city, park the car, get out, get a shopping cart, go in. And we always pick up 2 weeks' supply of food every time. We don't buy 3 days of food and come back and shop every 3 days. You'll spend more time in the grocery stores buying food than you would doing anything else. We would buy like 2 big bags of milk. We'd buy this. We'd buy two big things of butter. We'd buy if we'd buy rice, we'd buy a huge bag of rice. Lasts us the month. We get this. We get that. We never bought 3 days of food. Never. It's a waste of time to go grocery shopping for 3 days of food. We would buy stuff. We would buy like 3 packs of bacon, 4 things of eggs. We would go, but now the price of food's got to a point where everyone's house broke or rent broke because they're paying so much in rent that they're having a tough time, just making ends meet. It's gotten to a point where you have to, 3 weeks of your wage goes to paying rent for a room. And that's where it's gotten to now, guys. And now average wages nowadays you can't live an average life anymore. You used to buy an average home, a 2-3 bedroom bungalow to start out with an average wage. Now with an average wage, you're lucky if you have a car you could sleep in. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Guys, don't forget, if you don't mind, to go here. Oh, and support me on Patreon, guys. Come on, join the family. Patreon. I got 18 supporters last week. Come on and join Patreon. Donate $1 a month to support the transmission, and keeps me motivated. You know what I'm saying? And you can message me on there directly anytime. It doesn't really matter. So, and there it is. Mike of the Night. Don't forget to set your reminder. And for trends in the housing market this Wednesday, don't forget to set your reminder. Big hug. Big special thanks to everybody for last night. And you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.